Hey there, welcome to day 108 of our annual challenge, our 365-day challenge to do one thing every day that improves us, our BU 365-day challenge. Today we're going to talk about a huge topic, and that topic is forgiveness. Now here's a topic and a thing that I was taught to do in my religious upbringing, yet I'm not sure I was very good at it until I had a sudden cardiac arrest in 2010. And following that, forgiveness became a big deal for me because I learned that forgiveness is for me. Our spiritual forgiveness, and I'm going to grab my magnifying glass so I can read the definition. It says spiritual forgiveness is forgiving yourself and feeling real sadness and remorse, not just guilt about your own behavior. So forgiving yourself for mistakes and failures and things that you've done in the past, things that you've said and done that you maybe could have done better, and hopefully you've learned from them, but we didn't always. But following that death experience, I returned. I'm still here, obviously, and one of the big topics for me was gratitude. Remember, gratitude, being myself, doing what was right for me, not what everybody thought I should do, and forgiveness, understanding that forgiveness, we can choose to forgive other people, whether they deserve it or not. But forgiveness is the gift that we give ourselves. If we let ourselves off the hook for picking the wrong partner, being involved in the wrong situations, making mistakes, having failures, because we're all human and that's how we learn. So forgiveness is a decision to let go of a resentment and to give up our desire for revenge. I think some people more than others have desire for revenge. Toward people, places, things that we believe have harmed us, whether they deserve it or not. We can choose to let go of our negative feelings associated with that person, place, or thing or experience and move on and move forward in our lives. Now, like anything else on the internet, I looked it up and there were 5 steps to forgiveness, 7 steps to forgiveness, 10 steps to forgiveness. So I was going to share the version of 5. I think that there's all different ways to describe this, just like any other process or any other thing we do. And the point is to figure out what your process is. What is required in order for you to forgive? Number 1, reflect on the situation. Think about the situation. Number 2, put yourself in the other person's shoes. Try to understand their perspective. And sometimes you'll just more clearly understand that they are a toxic person and you need them out of your life, or it's a toxic situation and you need to remove yourself from it. Number 3, choose to learn from the experience, right? If we learn from an experience, it's a lot easier to take the lessons away and let go of all the negativity and all the hurt and harm that was done to us by the experience. Number 4, let it go. And we have talked about in the different areas of our life, different ways of releasing and letting things go. And we'll cover that more throughout this year. We'll have, I'll probably do a whole segment, a special outside of this challenge segment on different ways that you can forgive, because I think it's fun and let go of things. And I did a lot of that following my sudden cardiac arrest. Number 5, decide where you want to go from here, and then just, do it. Go and create your own life. There's 3 types of forgiveness, and I'm not going to go into these, but they're exoneration, forbearance, and release. According to John Hopkins, there's good, important reasons for forgiving, and that your health and sometimes your life depends on it. Number 1, it lowers your risk of heart disease and heart attack. It improves your cholesterol. It reduces pain, reduces blood pressure, reduces levels of anxiety and depression. It reduces levels of stress. So those are all really important reasons to forgive. And again, forgiveness is for us. It's not for the person that we're forgiving. It doesn't matter if the person that we are forgiving and letting go of it, and all it is letting go of the negative energy associated with something. And I've learned the hardest person to forgive is myself. Part of what led to a lot of my challenges in life was I was always beating myself up for the things that other people thought I should be doing, and that, I compared myself to others. I didn't think that I measured up or was good enough or as good as, and all those things combine, and we need to at some point forgive ourselves for those things. Forgiving, I say this a lot, forgiving does not mean forgetting. If we forgive and forgive and forgive and never learn the lesson and then we forget about the situation, the lesson, we're setting ourselves up to repeat it. So we don't want to do that. And one of the best ways to help ourselves to forgive and remember to forgive is to commit to doing no harm. And that means no harm to ourselves as well. And negative energy, all the hurt and negative feelings associated with things that happen to us, ways that people directly or indirectly or purposefully or accidentally negatively impact us, the energy around that, we need to let that go. So our action item today is to think about forgiveness and think about one person, one thing that you need to forgive yourself for, and forgive yourself. If you need a better steps to forgiveness, or you don't know what your forgiveness process is, I challenge you to look it up online and find a process that resonates with you. Like I said, I wrote down the 5, then the 7, and then I ran across a 10-step one, and I'm like, all right, 10 steps is too much to forgive yourself, unless it's a super duper thing and you need to really break it down. Otherwise, you just acknowledge that you were hurt. You consider possible outcomes or possible ways to forgive, and then you just go about forgiving. So forgive, and I say forgive yourself today, because forgiving ourselves for things is the hardest thing to do, but it's also the most important, the most critical. One of the hardest parts of getting over my divorce was understanding that I had to forgive myself for feeling like I had failed in my marriage. And that was a hard one, because we all play a part in every situation we're in. Even if we're just playing the role of the victim, and we are the victim, if we're playing that role, we have to forgive ourselves for allowing ourselves to be victimized, things like that. All right, that's it. Have an awesome day. Any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow, and we're going to talk about, I don't know what's on the list tomorrow. I'll check my calendar and prepare tonight. Have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Forgive yourself.